ready?
I am.
And here we go. Hello, Aries.
Hello, Aries.
We love Aries.
We do. We love Aries.
Eddie, our cameraman, is an Aries.
Eddie, our cameraman.
Say hello.
He's a
hello.
fiery Aries.
There you go.
Yes.
I have 2 Aries daughters.
2 Aries daughters.
Yes.
I have an Aries brother.
You do.
I do.
We have Aries around us.
Yes.
Everywhere.
And I have Jupiter in Aries. Do you have any Aries in your chart?
I do. I think my Mars is in Aries.
Oh, that's right. Mars is in Aries.
That's why I'm so impulsive.
That's true. That's true. It's an intense place for Mars.
Mm-hmm.
We digress.
We are going to welcome you to Virtual Tarot, and we are now in Delphi.
The Temple of Delphi.
Yes.
And we are your oracles, modern day oracles. Oracles are women who divine the future. We do so with a 4-card spread.
Yes, and not unlike Greece, who believed they could not lose. The Greeks believed they had a distinct advantage because they had the oracle. And so they could not lose. Same thing for you. You watch Virtual Tarot, you can't lose.
That's right.
Got a leg up. Okay.
Reagan had an astrologer.
Yeah.
Well, they all do, but they never tell you.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
So we're going to read for you for the month of October, but first we're going to tell you what we do.
All right.
And we do a 4-card spread every month. What we do is we really dive down deep into each one of these cards so that you can also learn to read for yourself.
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to teach you how to read because it's a marvelous tool, the tarot is, to have a deck and to consult it when you are faced with an impossible situation.
You just never
You
know.
just can't figure out.
So we're going to read a 4-card spread. The first card represents
the overall energy of the month of October for you, Aries.
Second card represents challenges, things that might trip you up.
Third card is the unexpected.
And the 4th card is the outcome card. And we'll wrap it all up into a narrative because these cards do not live alone. Same way Ava and I do not live alone.
We do. I live alone.
We live side by side.
Oh, that's true.
All the time. And we'll give you a little spiritual counseling.
Yes.
And then we'll send you off. So you can go trick-or-treating.
Oh, yes. It's the month of trick-or-treat.
It
Oh,
is.
it's-
And boy, have we had a lot of devil cards
Oh, God, isn't it
coming
amazing?
up. Yeah.
I hope you don't get one. But,
Yes.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So let's go into last month's recap. Aries, what did we have for you last month? Very first card to rear its head was the Hanged Man. Great card,
Reversed.
but in the inverse.
Yes.
Yes. So the Hanged Man in the upright is a great card because it's really about thinking outside of the norm or how you had seen your life before. Back up a little bit and see your life as if you were a stranger. Now this is very difficult to do.
It is. It is. To assume the perspective of someone who is not involved in your situation is the best way to actually look at it.
Yes. If you could leave your body
Well, yes.
and
you can
hover over it.
do it. You can do it mentally.
Yes. Visualize it.
Visualize yourself
Visualize your
stepping
day.
back, looking at what's going on in your life as if you were looking at it from a higher perspective.
And you may be just terrified. Probably why no one does it.
Yeah.
Now this is in reverse, and so Spirit would counsel you to do exactly that.
And in reverse, you see, the cross, the bearing of the cross is very important in this card because upright, you bear your cross with dignity. In the inverse, you still have to bear that cross, but you're not happy about it. And so you put up a fuss. And so it's putting up a fuss as to the situation that you're in. Not really being happy about the way it is. And so fighting it in a sense instead of, again, finding a solution to it by detaching yourself from it,
Mm-hmm.
you are just, you're unable to find that distance, and you're just burdened by that cross that you have to bear.
Yep. So in the next position, we have another interesting card. It's the Eight of Swords in the upright. Easy to understand this card just by looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have this woman. She has a blindfold on. Surrounding her are these 8 swords.
Right.
In front of her, there are no swords.
There's no barriers in front of her, in other words.
So she could walk away. Which is why we call it the Stockholm Syndrome card. It's like identifying with your captors.
Yes.
And it's also like believing what other people tell you. So if
other
negative
people's opinions
thinking,
become your opinions.
yeah, about yourself.
About yourself or about the situation. Again, you're looking for answers, but you're not looking for it in the right place.
You put yourself in a box.
Right. And or this is a card of negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
Where you tell yourself, no, I can't, I'm not good enough. If I were to attempt to find my dream, I'd never be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that.
You talk yourself out of it before you even get started.
It.
And then in the next position we have a really cool card. 8 of Wands, another 8. This time it's an energy card. It's a fire card. And this is you, Aries. Yep. And so it's all you, actually, because this is the go card.
Right, so
it's go time.
It's go time. By the second week of September, you get your fire back, you get your passion back, you get the projects start. You just can't even keep up with it all. Lots of texting, lots of communications, lots of travel. You know, it could even be travel by air.
It could even point to the arrows of love.
It could sometimes, but it's just a fiery, passionate, imaginative energy that sets you aflame.
So at the end of the month, we have the 6 of Cups, which is, I call it the Facebook card, only because it's about reconnecting with past friends, lovers, people who make you feel comfortable, people who love you unconditionally. And it's like a nice, safe, warm, fuzzy place to go to at the end of the month.
Right.
And so that's kind of where you go, to your safe place, right?
You go to your safe
happy
place.
Go to your happy place. Right.
Yes.
Which is not a bad thing.
No. It's a beautiful card, and it's the giving and receiving of love.
And
it's
backing up to the
reciprocal.
8 of Wands is also air travel.
Oh, yes.
Air travel and then reconnection with loved ones.
So it could be that you're traveling home.
Yay! So there you go, and we are ready to read for October. Are you ready to read for October?
I am.
Okay, so Eva has pre-shuffled these cards.
I have, but have I reversed? Yes, I have. All right.
And everything is spontaneous in the moment.
All right.
We do not rehearse. You can probably tell.
You can't make this stuff up.
No, absolutely.
No.
You ready?
All right.
Let's see.
Oh,
Aries,
let's
Aries,
see what's going on for Aries.
Oh my gosh, guys. Two of Swords.
Upright.
Upright. Interesting. Okay, so what are you not looking at, Aries? What are you ignoring?
Yes. So you need to make a decision. You need to decide something. You need to make a choice. You need to choose between two things. But you don't want to do it. You'd rather stay on that river of denial.
That's right.
And float along because you don't want to hurt anybody.
Especially yourself.
Or you don't want to hurt yourself.
Your self-image.
You don't want to look at the truth because, again, it could hurt someone else or it could hurt you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's emotional turbulence, a bit of emotional turbulence that you're also not facing. But it's this, you're in a state of
Denial.
And I was going to say, she's still. You know, there's no movement, there's no action, she's just deliberating. And you're going to have to come to a decision. So this state can't go on for very long, so it's temporary.
It's exhausting, too.
And when you hide from feelings, when you hide from the truth, it's always exhausting. That's why liars are so exhausted all the time.
Really?
It takes a lot of effort to lie.
That's true.
You've got to constantly keep in mind what your lie was, because all lies have repercussions, you know, and they lead to something else.
Yeah.
And it's an enormous effort. So
if you're in conflict, you're conflicted.
Conflict, yeah. And it's not lying per se. It's maybe lying to yourself.
But you're conflicted as to which way to go, which choice to make, from an intellectual standpoint. And there it comes again. Here it comes again.
Yes.
Reconnection with family, friends, and loved ones. That becomes the challenge. So, wondering if that Two of Swords has something to do with a decision within reconnection.
Right, because you're reconnecting with your past.
And maybe you're avoiding...
And that's a challenge. The present. You're avoiding the present.
Or you're avoiding sort of those things beneath the surface. There's some things beneath the surface, maybe.
Maybe.
That you just don't really want to address.
But in a sense, this is also a very beautiful card. So there's an equal giving and taking of emotional pleasures, caring, love, joys.
Even within that situation, though, there can be
There-
a challenge. Even within... There's always these little things that come up.
Right.
You know, when we reconnect with our loved ones, our family, our friends. These little things that you just have to kind of sweep under the rug and ignore sometimes. And that might be really the best thing to do.
But it's beautiful, actually, because if it's in your challenge, maybe your challenge is to reconnect. Is to bring a past relationship back.
Good feeling.
To give
those
the
good vibrations.
The good vibrations from the past.
Bring them back.
Right. And it has something to do with this
avoidance
of choice.
Reality.
Of reality, right.
So avoid reality. There you go. Sometimes it works. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords in the position of the unexpected.
Again.
Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
Oh, yeah.
So there is this a no-win situation.
I think a choice is made. And remember, the choice involved perhaps someone getting hurt or something painful. And this card, the Five of Swords, is someone feeling the pain of loss.
Yeah.
So the battle has taken place, and there are losers in this.
And maybe winning in this situation, you might walk away feeling as if you have won.
Right.
In this situation.
Right. You've won, but someone else doesn't feel so good about it. And maybe because that's why you were delaying the choice, because you didn't want it to happen.
Right.
But unexpectedly it happens anyway. So maybe it isn't that you made the choice, but that somehow
it was forced upon you.
It was forced upon you. And then,
and the choice has been made. So at the end we have the Three of Cups reversed.
All right.
And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, if you're reconnecting with your challenge to reconnect with an old flame even, or a past relationship, could be a friend,
right,
could be something from your past. So this to me says this is some past connection, something that happened in the past.
Something in the past.
That you would prefer to ignore.
And that's challenging you.
And there are some issues that you just have sort of covered up.
Swept under the rug.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not going to look at that. The challenge is to be real.
Right. to be real and to be heartful.
Mm-hmm.
To be heartful and kind.
And maybe unexpectedly there is a moment where all of this comes out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how do you allow that to happen without hurting someone?
Well, it's often difficult, isn't it?
And it looks as if that
If you
it's
can't
like
meet their
a no-win
needs.
situation.
It's a no-win situation,
Mm-hmm.
and that leads to
Over imbibing. It could lead to over partying. It could lead to being a little loose, even with your morals.
Yes, or
Not. I don't know. To me, it could be
but
not treating someone well.
but this is a dissolution of when friends no longer can celebrate together.
Yes.
They can't celebrate together, so they go their separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about that. It's the same as this.
Mm-hmm.
But there was an intellectual aspect to this division between you and the other.
Yep.
Here, there's an emotional division.
Right. Well, it's also, a marriage
A marriage, yes.
broken.
It could be.
A
It could
friendship
be a
broken.
friendship broken, or a friendship strained.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that strained, because
This is inevitable.
yeah, they walk away from the losers in this walk away, but there's no guarantee that they're not carrying a grudge,
Yes.
and so it's
Or they may leave and just of their own accord.
Right,
But
so-
leaving that's a no-win situation because you lose.
right.
You lose someone who was important to you.
Right. And or if it isn't that, then you might, if we look at it completely differently, it's simply in your work environment, which is generally very highly competitive.
Mm-hmm.
You win
Mm-hmm.
a contract, an issue, you win something.
Mm-hmm.
And then the team is not functioning on the same conviviality
Mm-hmm.
that it used to, because
Yep.
there's resentment
Exactly.
for your conquering
Mm-hmm.
the situation, for you triumphing,
Yeah.
you see.
And it's all minor.
It's all minor, but these are the kinds of things that go on in daily life all
Every
the
day.
time.
Yep, exactly.
So little people get annoyed at your successes,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't, and there's envy, because this is often envy.
Well, it looks as if you have to confront a situation.
Right, you do. You have to
An
confront
old
it.
friend.
Old friend, or
Someone
people you
you've
know,
known
or a
for a
team, or-
while. Someone who you've had a certain sense of comfort
Right, it
with.
doesn't even have to be a friend. It can be just a co-worker.
Mhm.
You know, people you've been around and known for a while. So there might be a little bit of uneasiness in the workplace.
You lose a little bit of that, feeling of
Teamwork. Yeah.
communal teamwork.
Communal teamwork, because you've triumphed in some way, and it may have had something to do with a previous issue,
Mm-hmm.
that you hadn't wanted to face.
And this card's interesting because the Three of Cups can mean one of two things. You either aren't going out, or you are going out all the time.
Right.
So it could be one of two things.
Yeah, you hibernate. You
Yeah.
try to. You don't feel like celebrating,
Or you don't have anyone to celebrate
or
with.
you don't have anyone to celebrate with. There's not a feeling of, even though you may have triumphed, there's not a feeling like you want to really, pop the champagne.
Right.
To do,
To celebrate.
To celebrate it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like,
I won, but
so what?
so what? I won. Sometimes winning isn't everything, but in certain situations, if you're simply right, you're right.
Yeah. And so
And-
you have to deal with it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
All right.
There's your reading.
There's your reading.
Whoa, there's the fifth card. You guys really need it.
Yes.
Okay, well, subscribe, why don't you?
Oh, yes, please subscribe to the council card, and you will be privy then to the spiritual interpretation cards and some extra counsel from our higher spirit.
Yes.
And in this situation, I would really like myself.
You can't
to
wait
see.
to find out.
I can't wait to find out.
It's like, what is going on here?
I can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Very good. And if you'd like a personal and private reading, please go to avatrudyvirtualtarot.com. Click on the Purchase Reading tab.
and that's it.
That's it. You guys are ready to go trick-or-treating.
Yes, happy Halloween.
Don't eat too much.
Me too.
That's what this is.
Maybe. All right.
Bye.